Welcome back, everybody. This is the thejonnymar, and I'm continuing with my walkthrough of Final Fantasy I Dawn of Souls, the PSP version. So last time we did quite a few things, and we finished up in a waterfall to the north of a town that is our next location. And this town is right there to the east as we get into a quick random encounter. And basically what we need to do is head into that town, and the Oxyale that we got from our bottled fairy a little while back is going to allow us to access the next elemental shrine, which is the water shrine. So here is Onrac. There's a new item that you can get, which is the remedy. So this, of course, is your all-in-one cure ability or item that allows you to cure pretty much any status ailment in the game, except stone and KO. So you still will need gold needles and also Phoenix Downs. Or if you're playing the original... Look at my legs, aren't they wonderful? Yeah. Good for you. But you're still gonna need, you know, Phoenix Downs and gold needles, and obviously in the original you didn't have access to Phoenix Downs. Did he say Underhill? I wonder if that's a Lord of the Rings reference or not. But we're gonna talk to all of these citizens. We have heard of Oxyale. In fact, we have some. We had to pay 40,000 Jill for it, but we do have it. Looks like we need to look for a guy named Cope. Or Cape, however you want to pronounce it. Well, it's not that beautiful of a town anymore. Kind of beat up. But it does have some magic shops, which are kind of important. And here's another person talking about legs. Weird. But here we have the other level 7 magic, the Saber spell, which only a black wizard can use. So kind of useless. And the blind, again, we had a blind spell at level 1, so not very helpful. And for white magic, this stuff is more helpful. Not null death, we have the protect rings, so that covers death, status ailment protection, but the Healagus spell is something we're going to want eventually, and that is the best multi-target cure spell. So we'll be getting that as soon as our white mage is strong enough. And here's the hint about the caravan. So they tell you to go to the area north of the desert. So if you didn't know where to go, or if you happen to come into this episode without watching my previous ones, and there's a dragon here apparently, then that's where you need to go for the caravan. But I'm going to head in, and I'm going to rest before we head into the Sunken Shrine, which is our next location. And I do want to talk to these couple of people first. Sky people. Yeah, and this guy talks about Un, if you remember from way back when. Alright, so I slept, and now my party is ready to go. So we need to head over here to the east. This is Cop, or Cape, or Cope, or Cope, or whatever his name is. Basically, he's telling you about the robot we already got the warp cube from. So no, he's not crazy like everyone is saying. Hey, it's a... I don't know what you are. Are you a mermaid, maybe? Or just a woman with a dress on, perhaps? Oh man, or you're a spirit. This place is haunted. But we don't get a cool submarine like we do in a game like Final Fantasy V or 7. No, we just get a barrel. So we're gonna head under the water. And we get this cool little cutscene with the pretty awesome music. Very nice. So we're heading into the Sunken Shrine. This is where our next elemental stone is. So as you might expect, you're going to fight a lot of aquatic enemies in here, while also looking for items. Now, mostly there's Jill in this area, but there is a couple of very important items that we do want to pick up. So I will try to show off those locations. Now, I don't remember... Here's a new enemy, the white shark. Just a palette swap of the shark enemy. I don't remember exactly where everything is, so through my trials and tribulations here, I'll try to show you the quickest path, and another new enemy, the sea snake, to the different treasure rooms. And like most of the dungeons in this game, a lot of the rooms are actually empty, so we'll try to avoid that as much as possible. But I was mentioning with the level 7 spells that the saber spell can only be used by a black mage, which it's actually a black wizard. You get a couple of quick level ups, which is essentially useless because it's a physical base spell. So it increases your attack power, it increases your accuracy, and you know, you're not going to be attacking very often with your black wizard. Even with the cat claws, they just don't really do that much damage. Now eventually we want to go to the west there, but first we want to head to the right because there's a dead end down here with a lot of cool items that we want. This dungeon actually has 2 paths that we have to take. The right path is just for items. The left path will eventually take us to the next elemental fiend, who is water-based. And you can probably guess who that fiend is. I might have even mentioned the fiend in a previous episode. Oops. But here's another new enemy, the ghost. Now, these guys aren't too bad, but they can do a lot of physical damage if you give them a chance, so you want to try to take them out as quickly as possible. Ow. Dang it. Stop hitting me. Now, what's good about the saber spell is basically nothing, but there is an item in the game that once we pick it up will allow you to actually use it in battle. Kind of like our healing staff or our gauntlets. And that will actually use Deep Eyes, another new enemy. That'll use the saber spell on whoever uses the item in battle. So that's a way we can actually use it on, for example, our warrior up there, our knight, and also our ninja, so that they get the benefit of it. So if we spend a turn, for example, and hey, we get some diamond armor, using that and then casting haste on Jester, for example, he's going to do a lot of damage, and for much of the game that is going to be our main way of dealing damage to things like bosses, for example, so I will point that item out when we actually get to it. But let's continue onward, finding some new treasure chests in between all of these random encounters. I'm certainly gaining levels, which means after we do this part of the dungeon, I'm actually going to leave the dungeon, heal up, and then probably in my next episode, we'll actually finish it off and take on the boss. Let's head over here. And we get a light axe. I mean, it's not really that great to cast Dyra in battle if you use it. But as you can see, not really that powerful compared to our other weapons, so yeah. Maybe I'll hang on to it for its little side effect, or maybe I'll just sell it. It's probably worth quite a bit. Up here we have a pressure plate and a mage's staff. That's not that great either. It's for a black mage. It can cast Fira. I mean, 2nd level magic spells at this point. Take them or leave them. Your physical attacks are going to be your bread and butter, especially now that we have 3 classes that can do pretty good damage. That's our knight, our ninja, and our red wizard. Yes, yes, random encounters, got it. Good lord. And a ton of Jill. One more floor to go. So in here, lots more Jill. And a diamond armlet. That's good. So we'll throw that on Johnny so that he can take a little bit more physical damage. Or of course you can throw it on your healer. That's a worthwhile person to have it as well. Give him some survivability. More Jill. Now, there's a ton of chests over on the east side of this area. And this is where I start to lose kind of my memory of this place. But you actually want to head up to the far west, because if you head through this little pathway here, this is the room we wanted to get to. Get a diamond helm, diamond gloves, but most importantly, we get the Rosetta Stone. So this will actually allow us to translate the Lufian language, I think it's called, something like that. And we'll have to take that back to Dr. Un, and he'll be the one that can actually do that. So once we finish up with this dungeon, that'll be our next stop. And the diamond gloves, not really worth it. We're going to keep the protect ring on. And as you know, probably a Rosetta Stone helps you interpret a language. That's what the original Rosetta Stone did. So that is certainly its purpose in this game as well. Now, let's find that path to get to the east side with all the treasure chests. Now, where exactly is it? Is it up here? No. Down here? Oh, well, here's a mermaid. Will do. And there's another mermaid over here, apparently. We're the heroes of light, or light warriors. You want to come with us? We always have room in the party for more. Especially a cutie like you. Oh, if we don't do something about this elemental 10 Jill. Woo. Elemental fiend, all the mermaids will disappear. That wouldn't be good. But we're almost done looting this place. Just a few more rooms. And mermaids, I guess, to talk to. This one tells you about the Mirage Tower. It gives you the hint that you need a chime sound in order to access it. Keep that in mind. And over here is our last treasure room. So I'm going to head out, I'm going to heal, I'm going to save. In my next episode, we will continue onward and finish up the Sunken Shrine. So as always, viewers, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. So long.